Hello, folks. We are back, and we are live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, a special show, a Saturday night special, and tonight it's a Saturday night special on a very serious topic. We are not covering our normal format as the regular listeners would expect us to. Tonight we are covering the situation at hand, which, if you've seen the promos, they were dropped in a few different spots. They weren't spread out like normal, but they have been dropped in strategic areas, we'll say, where a lot of our core listeners migrate to. And hopefully, for those who have been following the posts and would like to know more about the situation at hand, or even how they may be able to help, either by donations, support, thoughts, prayers, good wishes, every little bit adds up. And the detecting community in its own is strong and vast and large in numbers. Sometimes you can't do it on your own, and we have power in numbers. And when we bond together for a common cause, we really do tend to make an impact. And we've been making one so far. But we're not quite there yet. So, for those who are tuning in, whether it's your first time or long-time listener, we greatly appreciate you dropping in for this serious subject. Normally we are about content and information and a few laughs, and we still are about content and information tonight, but it's unfortunately on a much more somber note. But for those who have tuned in, we will be covering the situation at hand and even discussing some ideas that we've had to try and assist with this, as well as where we stand in donations, because we have mentioned before, if we can hit at least $600 in donations, we will start to compile a list of items that we will actually, anybody who had donated previously or even after the 600 up to the time of the drawing, will be remembered. And you could have a chance at, maybe a relic or two, maybe some silver. If we hit at least 600, there is a Dirt Bandit tested and approved machine that, I know a few people that know the guy pretty good, may even be able to put in a good word and get that thing signed for you if you'd like. But we'll see what happens. I suppose first off, though, we should probably check and see if there is anybody even in the chat. I don't know. Do you happen to have the Thousand Mics page up, Kenny?
Absolutely, and I appreciate everybody that's here. I see Mr. Beer Barrel's here. That'd be Mr. Chris Singo. Suki's here. Swans. Of course, Tam. Metal Detecting.
Metal Detecting, our buddy Rob. Author of Metal Detecting Hidden Places.
Which, by the way, Rob, I had an issue with your address. I have resent. I even have a tracking number. Your stuff that you won 2 weeks ago should be at your home any moment. Yes. Also, let me back up here. My sissy Lynette's here.
Oh, shout out to Linux.
Yeah. So yes, we got some people here.
Well, that's good. At least we know that there
Mr. Bill's here. Ohio Relic Hunter has now graced us. And there's Mr. Leighton Harrington. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, Leighton Harrington's in the house. Swansea, Ohio Relic Hunter, Metal Detecting Hidden Places. Yeah. We've got a good solid group of people. You know,
yeah, and did I mention Chris? People. Yeah, Chris Engel. Yeah, he is Chris here. Engel. Mr. Chris, brother Chris.
Great guy. Definitely. But for those who are listening then, we know that we've got some people listening. Before we get down to covering all this, the first curveball. Always keep them guessing. The listeners may recall I've made some reference, maybe in private messages, maybe in posts, that the Beyond Sight and Sound domain I had axed, we'll say, a while back, with the intentions of resurrecting it when the time was right. And it's went on long enough that the time is near. And we have been working towards that. Wasn't planning to unveil it yet. So we've made some quick changes with a little help from friends. And tonight, if the listeners would like a little test experiment, the Beyond Sight and Sound player has been embedded into the beyondsightandsound.com domain, as well as a live chat on beyondsightandsound.com that people can drop in, and it's another way to interact and listen to the show. Not only can they do that, though, most of the work that has been done has been temporarily hidden for this particular situation. But there is still information up there. If you visit the beyondsightandsound.com domain, you will see, in fact, that there is a welcome tab. It shows you the player, shows you the live chat. You can register if you'd like. I would advise that you may want to for certain things in the future. And there is also a tab to the right that says, "What is LBD?" As well as that, there is also a thermometer-looking module that you can go to and see the progress of donations, and I am very happy to announce we did say that once we hit $600, we would start to compile a list of items. We're getting close. We're at 475 now. And below that, there is also a PayPal donation link where if you are inclined, compelled, or have the ability and would like to help, you can even donate to the family to help in this trying time. But while we're on that, if you scroll further down to the bottom, you will see a banner that talks about metal detecting hidden places. It's a new ebook. It's only been out a couple of weeks. It's about research. It was written by Rob. He's in the chat. And that banner will take you to Amazon, where you can purchase this ebook if you would like. Cheap purchase. It's only $2.99 if I remember correctly. I bought one myself a few weeks ago. Below that, big bold red print. All book sales for this weekend. The proceeds will be donated to Kenny and Christa to help with the cause. So, very, very commendable. Very generous. Thank you, Rob.
Absolutely. Wasn't expecting that. That's, I'll thank you personally. And, my wife as well. Yeah, let me just go ahead and start out by, let's just do this, because the situation is this. I have a hard time with this because, for one, I usually am on the other end of things. I'm always there to help whomever, needs help. The latest obviously was Chicago Ron and Jolie's situation. We all, that was, of course, and this scenario is all but different than that. But the situation that I have to sit here and look at is I lost my mother a year ago, and my wife, and actually Lynette, who was actually down from Missouri, was here when my mom passed away. So I was fortunate enough to have her here as well when all that happened. But this situation's been going on with Christa's mother now for some time. It's taxing, and the insurance only covers so much stuff as far as the help she's getting, where we can put her, how we can look after her, and then her. If you don't know anything about LBD, you need to read about it, because her mind, plus the medicines that they've got her on, she's hard to deal with. So Lynette has been up there, bless her heart, taking care of her by herself, and it's been very taxing. There's a lot to go into taking care of a patient that has succumbed to this nasty disease. So the hard thing for me is when I'm sitting here and I look at my wife, and she's 638 miles to be exact. Well, actually a little further now since Lynette moved. But the point being is Lynette's up there doing everything she can. Time's running out. Things are getting worse. And there's no way I can sit here in good conscience, and knowing my wife has moved all the way to the south and been with me through both of my father's passing and my mother's passing, and not try to do something. The reason that it's different now is because normally every year, as in some of my videos, you guys see that I do go to Missouri and different places. And that is on a time-scheduled vacation, full-paid deal. We get to go like anybody else gets to go on a vacation. And
right,
we do our thing.
Fun.
Right. This situation, it's not on Christa's vacation time, and they won't allow it. Obviously, it's not her vacation's not up yet. her mother is dictating the time that she has to get up there to her. So, you know, we're not going to let the job stand in the way, obviously, of her going up to maybe the last time she sees her mother, for one, and to help Lynette, because it's that bad. It's very bad, to say the least. And I need to have her up there. So what happened is Christa put in for, went and talked to her job about the possibility of having the time off to go do this. And obviously it was going to be without the pay anyway, because even if you take a family leave of absence. But it turns out she didn't even qualify for that at this point anyway. So it's to the point where the job's going to have to just go. And the reason for the donation is to pay for the time spent up there, because the bills still have to get paid here. Plus, she's going to need the food, the stuff. We got the kids up there with us, the time that we're there taking care of her. And that's what it's for.
And there's medications to help with.
There's medications and stuff. So, I feel very awkward being on this side of the spectrum. I don't like, how can I say it? I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to use the word pride. I don't want to do that. I'm just not used to being on this side of it. But I'm not going to let, lack of a job or lack of whatever stand in the way of my wife's time with her mother. We're going to go one way or the other. I'm just trying to make it easier. And it's my duty as a husband. And I happen to love my mother-in-law as well, to make sure that we get this done. And I appreciate everybody that has supported, whether it be prayers, the thoughts and prayers, or the donations. And there will be a list, Josh, if you don't already, please put a list up who has donated, because it's important to me and Christa. You guys are awesome. And that's all I can say about it. And it won't be forgotten. So, I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than I'm going to do whatever I can to, I hadn't even been able to swing my coil since the Alabama video. You guys, most of you that watched Dirt Bandit saw an Alabama video about 2 weeks ago. Things have been I just haven't been able to get my mind straight enough to get out there and swing a coil with all of this going on until I know I can secure things the way I need to secure them. So anyway, that's what's happening. I wanted everybody to know rather than just read posts and stuff. There's if anybody has questions about it, I'm here to answer them the best of my ability.
Right, because sometimes with the posts, you can't convey the emotion and the severity of the situation in text a lot of times. So I think it's good that we do this, and that the listeners have a chance to tune in, call in, catch the archive, whatever, so that they can understand for themselves what is going on, because they may have had a grandmother, a father, a grandfather, an uncle who may have had a similar situation, and I'm sure that, they know, hey, I remember when that happened. It flat out sucked to have to deal with. It's a rough time. This is going to be a trying time. And then to have to worry about the job, expenses for medication, stuff like that, it's just added stress on top of an extremely stressful and frustrating situation to begin with.
Yes, it is. And, you know, like I said, having lost my mother already, and I had to watch, I was actually at her bedside holding her hand when she went. So it wasn't a quick thing. It was a drawn out situation, and I wasn't prepared for it, but I did what I could. And to know that my wife and Lynette, are going through something like this breaks my heart. And all I can do is be there as a husband and as a brother. And, that's what I'm going to do. And let me, hang on a second. I'm going through the chat here, and if I'm not mistaken, I see, Home Finder. I don't know who this is. Home Finder, posted, "You are at 600 and God bless."
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot. And I don't know who Home Finder is, but I would like to. Excuse me, guys. Really, I don't usually get like this, but people are good.
Right, and it's times like this that really shine the light back onto society and mankind, to see that people are still not so wrapped up in their daily life, that they are still willing to help others. Regardless of the media you see, there are still good people out there. And you know, Kenny, I know there are a lot of them when it comes to the detecting community. There is,
and it goes beyond that. I mean, there's people that listen to these shows that's never picked up a metal detector before, but probably will after they're done, after we're done with them.
Oh yeah.
But it's, you know, like I said before, I've never. This is a different thing that I'm involved in here. I really need to find out who Home Finder is. And Swansea was saying something about he couldn't log in to, it was probably the site you were saying. I don't know if he finally logged in. Swansea, let us know in the chat if you got logged in or not. So we can figure that out.
Right. Because we are still working with it. This is kind of a trial run for the site, see what people think about tuning into the show.
Now he's in.
Site. Oh, well.
Good
deal.
Well,
deal.
I guess my next statement would be, you know, supposedly here we're up to 600, and we know what that means.
Right. That means we've got some work ahead of us.
Yes, we do. Let me tell you a little something. I'm going to, this AT Pro that's going to be in this drawing, let's just say it's been in many a video.
It's recovered a cannonball.
It has
a few.
It's recovered cannonball, buttons, 3-cent pieces, half dimes, bullets, buttons.
Lots of bullets.
I can't tell you. It's in good shape.
Maybe even a Morgan.
It did. No, actually it dug 4. I believe 4 Morgans. 3 or 4. But anyway, there's, it's in good shape. It's, like I said, it's Dirt Bandit approved, for sure.
Right. That's why we said this is Dirt Bandit tested and approved. You know, I mean, we're very, very thankful for all the support, and really would love to do as much as we can to say thanks for those who are supporting. But, you know, obviously we're not world renowned or anything in a sense. We don't have sponsors backing anything like that. So we're just doing what we can personally to say thank you, because it does mean just a world of difference.
Right, right. And I believe we're getting closer to finding out who Home Finder is there. He is a realtor from Ohio.
Oh,
Yes, you
I
probably know
have
him
a
then.
sneaky suspicion that I know who that is.
All right,
I
well, I
believe
just
he's
want
a
to say
very
one more
patriotic
time,
person as well.
thank you. And I believe my wife is on here. Are you here, baby?
Yes, I am.
So,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Little Miss Dirt Bandit.
Yes, folks, listeners, Little Miss Dirt Bandit, Christa.
Real quick, I want to tell you guys thank you so much. You guys have really shown a lot of support, and it means the world to us. And it's just amazing how, most of you guys I haven't been privileged to meet in person, but I feel like I already know you. And I really appreciate all the prayers and thoughts and support. Thank you so much.
And that's that's one of the great things about this hobby, is the connections that you make with it, the paths that lives cross that you have an impact on, or that others do. And it truly is like a brotherhood. It's just
Really
one
is.
big extended family.
Well, let me give you a little taste here, and I don't want to get away from the subject because we need to discuss this horrible disease.
Yes,
a little
I do
further.
want the listeners to understand what this is.
But for Christa to be Little Miss Dirt Bandit wasn't an easy job. I am gone a lot. I come home in all kinds of shape. All the terrain that I hunt in and stuff, and she's always just there, period. What do you need, honey? I've got your back. And that's who she is.
Right.
So
Banged
there is
up,
no
bruised up, bit up, or otherwise.
Oh, yes, yes. But back to this disease. When there's supposed to be, I believe they say 2 to 7 year span there. Now, Lynette and Chris and I both are trying to figure out, even with the doctors, how far along is Barbara. And first of all, the lady that we're talking about is Barbara Clopton. She is a hell of a woman. She accepted me, maybe a little hesitant, because I was kind of the crazy guy that brought home 70 pound. Well, I brought home a lot of 70-pound flatheads that fish that normal people just don't do. But anyway, but to get to the point is, she's a remarkable woman. She is full of vigor. She's a Christian woman. She's a prayer warrior, and on me constantly and about it, and was responsible for a lot of, let's just say, things that I changed myself around to. And when I went up there last year, to see the difference, because Lynette sees her every day. But when we got there last year, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I went off to myself because Christa broke down, and I went off to myself because I was like, how can it change that much?
Yeah, how can it be the same person?
That was last year. Now, there's so much that's happened since then where she's, and this is why Josh put out that no children, I believe, tonight. But this is why she gets to the point where she loses the mental aspect of things, and wailing of the arms and saying stuff that hurt you, and maybe call you names that you know that your mother would never do to you, and different stuff like that. And Lynette's had to take that while everybody else turns their head and not lifts a hand to help, for whatever, just because where she's at, there's not very many people there. And my wife's here that needs to be there to help. And so that's the gist of it. That's the fact of what we're doing here, is to get my wife there so she can spend what's most likely or possibly the last time she may get to do this,
final days,
and to help her sister out.
70s. Oh, sorry, Kenny. Go ahead.
That's all right. And
7069. You're on the air. Caller.
Yes, dear.
Yeah, 7069. You have a question?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just called in to listen.
Oh. Okay.
I'm your Ohio realtor.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Well.
Mr. Home Finder, I assume.
Yes.
Well, I'm speak for my wife as well as myself that we thank you from the bottom of our heart for just being who you are.
Absolutely.
Not a problem.
It for some people, a donation, whether small or large, whatever amount, some people it may seem like a small token, some people it may seem like a big deal, but in this particular situation, I don't think people realize the impact that just a little bit of time taken to do something like that, the difference that it makes, the impact that it has on people's lives.
We appreciate you, and I used to sell real estate in Branson, Missouri, actually, for Coldwell Banker. That's amazing. But it's a blessing that folks like yourself can make a difference like that. I don't know what else to say, but just thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
It
Just paying it forward.
Well, and really that's, like you mentioned yourself, Kenny, you're not used to being on this side of the fence in a sense. You're used to helping others. The Jolie fundraiser with Chicago Ron, you had donated a belt plate, or maybe it was a breastplate.
It was actually a U.S. box plate and
a box plate
and a monetary donation.
And a monetary donation.
And I did a video for him.
A couple of videos, actually.
A couple of videos, yes. But that's just.
It's what we do.
It is. I definitely wasn't thinking that. A couple of months down the road, things would be of course that's a whole different scenario,
right? But it does go to show the twists that life takes. You can be sailing along just fine, and all of a sudden your feet are knocked right out from under you.
Well, and
we're all created equal.
It is, And something else here that Barbara has going against her, let's say in time, is the LBD is one situation enough by itself. This lady has type 1 diabetes for years that have just type 2, I mean, and it's chewed her feet up. She has the heart's issued and already had the surgery, and she's in stage 3 kidney disease, if I remember correctly.
She had diabetes for 20 years undiagnosed. So by the time she found out she had diabetes, it had already taken her. She is legally blind. She has kidney disease. She's had triple bypass surgery in her 50s. So my mother suffered a lot from the diabetes alone. So this other disease that's attacking her, it's devastating for the family. And for her, I mean, obviously, it's just, I don't know.
And we don't, sweetie, and you would agree, we're not trying to, I mean, all families have issues. I mean, there's sicknesses in every family, and that's not the reason we're doing the show.
Absolutely. We're not trying to make light of anyone else's situation or anything like that.
This is a situation where I needed to make sure that Christa, if this would have fell on a vacation, if this could have been done in any other sourceable way possible, I mean, Lynette knows me, there's other people that's not in the chat that I know that's listening right now, and they'll tell you, I mean, if this could have been avoided, it would have been avoided. And, but with things happening, how they happened and when they're happening, is why this has come to play.
Right. And I guess for the listeners, Kenny and I do talk regularly, and we've had some discussion about this prior to this. And just hearing everything, I thought, there's got to be something I can do to try to help. And given the situation, I can't do it on my own. So, we have to, in past experiences, we've seen you have power in numbers. And even though I can't do it on my own per se, with each other, the more assistance and aid and support from everyone else, the stronger we are. And it is just phenomenal. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's been great to see the outpouring of support that we've seen so far. It really is humbling.
It sets me back, and I'm appreciative of all of you guys and gals and everybody that has done this. And it's not just the monetary donations. It's the thoughts and the prayers. It's the just recognizing the fact that there is an issue and taking the time out of your day to send a post, we're thinking about you, or send a donation, or whatever it is, means a lot to Christa and I. And I go out and I do my metal detecting, I do my videos for the sake of the history, and I've gained a lot of friends by the history has made me friends. It has. But none of that means much when, as far as going out and doing the hobbies and stuff. It's about what we can do for one another if somebody's down.
Exactly.
Josh, I wanted to bring up, as things come in on that website, you said that there's a meter that, so we will update the the donations as they come in? Is that how that works, or how's it?
They will be updated, but they're not updated real time.
Okay.
We'll have to get back in there and change that as far as the donations that have come in, and I may even possibly put a list up of people who have donated, which incidentally, for the listeners, we had mentioned that if we reach $600 in donations, we will be compiling a list of supporters who have helped with that.
Right.
And we will be allowing them, or how should I say this, recognizing them, that for every, what was it, $10 increment, I believe?
Correct.
Every $10 increment that they have donated, we will make sure to put their name down again. And for every $10, that's another chance that they may win a piece of our American history in terms of relics, or, you know, maybe some silver. We're still discussing different things that we could possibly do. I'm still working on a limited edition design of Beyond Sight and Sound shirts that we may be able to include some of those even. I've got some silver coins here myself that I'm pretty sure I could put in.
Well, so let me
some.
interrupt you. Swansea had a question. Can we donate items? I guess the answer to that, yeah. I mean, if you want to throw something in for a drawing or something like that, that, you know, sure. Something else
really hate to do this. I've got to step away from the computer for a message real quick, but continue and let them know that they can get in contact with you or even myself if they'd like to donate items.
Right, okay. Yeah, don't hurt yourself. That would be fine. Also, there's a video that I done in the beginning of 2015 where there is a breast plate, but what it really is the lead inlay to the breastplate. They're very rare. Well, I say that because it's the only one I've ever found. I found a piece of one once, and I haven't heard of anybody that I know that has found one. And it was, you know, I had to sit there and stare at it. And do I do this? Do I not? Do I do this? I'm just human like everybody else, you know. And then when I look at the situation, well, yeah, I can do this. So that's going to be one of the items. It is a lead inlay of a breast plate. It has the complete eagle on it. You can see the eagle. All that's missing is the brass housing that goes around the breastplate. So I need to get back in that area to actually see if I can find that piece too. That would be special.
Can I say something right quick?
Sure, baby.
I just want to let the listeners know that you helping us, Kenny was sitting for days thinking, I've got to give something back. I've got to let them know I appreciate them. I've got to give them something that I have to show them how much we think of y'all, you know, and supporting us and helping us. It's just everything you're doing. And you are like our family. And he wanted to make sure that he threw in some of his best cherished memories of finding different things and areas and stuff. So I just wanted to throw that in and thank my husband for his generosity and for doing this for myself and for my sister and my family, and I really do appreciate you, honey.
Thank you, sweetheart. But That is will be one of the items. Plus, hardly talk right now. There's some silver. There'll be some mercs. There's a 1916 merc. Oop! Don't everybody get shake. No, it doesn't have a D-man on it. I'm sorry.
Don't jump.
Yeah. But I actually found that in the same hole as a Barber dime. It was in the exact same hole. But there'll be that. Then I believe, Josh, there was a Kennedy $50 silver, I believe.
Yes.
And I don't know, Buffalo nickels, just different stuff. Just so we could, I just want to say thanks. I just don't want just something for nothing, and just we want to do something. But the machine, since Josh brought it up, if my videos and my hunts are not about me. Yeah, it's Dirt Bandit 33. Yeah, I go out here. It's about the history. It's not about, I don't want to make it about myself. I want to make it about the history. But I try to add the stories to my videos so you can get an idealization of what I'm doing, so I can bring you along for the ride. So
right,
you can understand my videos. Kind of taking you with me. So I don't want to anybody to ever think that it's about me, because it isn't. It's about the history. And these items are items. And if any of these items are set in somebody else's display, they're still being displayed. And
right, that history is still preserved.
It's still for it's for a cause that has to be done in my eyes. This has to be done. There's no, well, let me think about it. Maybe I'll come up. No, it's done. It's got to be done. I have to do this. And so the AT Pro obviously is used. Obviously, so it will, to whoever ends up with that machine. If you want. I will put the John Hancock on it with the Dirt Bandit 33 or not. It doesn't matter either way. It comes with the standard coil that comes with it and the headphones. And when you receive it, you can walk out in the yard and start hunting.
And it's been a while since I've seen an AT Pro up close. I'm assuming those break down about like the Ace 250s.
Yeah, they got the 1-2 cam locks, coil comes off, the shaft comes off. I can put it in a box, and set it. Like the Deus, when I received the Deus, I thought my wife bought another pair of shoes. I couldn't believe they put it in a box that small. But anyway, this box is, it'll break down quite nicely.
Well, I'll have to do some looking around, so don't hold me to it, folks. Don't take this as gospel, because I'm big on Mind Lab. I'm pretty much all tapped out of Garrett swag. But I'm pretty sure if I dig around, I may have a brand new Ace 250 carry bag that we can include with that AT Pro.
Wow, and I also have, and I know Swans is listening to this, and Mr. Ohio Relic Hunter and the ET Pro users, I've got some Garrett ponchos. I've got some, this is their 50th anniversary, so I have a whole bunch of brooches or pins that you can put on your vest or your belts or whatever your attire is that you wear hunting if you want. I've got a bunch of those we can throw in, and a lot of those little neck straps that's got the hook that you carry a key at work or a slide car, the lanyards, whatever. But yeah, I have a bunch of that as well.
Wow. And I guess, seeing as how apparently we have reached 600 and we're going to have to compile a list of items, for the silver fans out there, you've mentioned some silver coins. And anybody that's big into silver knows the bullion. I've got a circulated condition silver eagle on the desk that's got somebody's name on it. I will put that in now.
Wow.
I appreciate that, Josh.
That's a 1 ounce silver coin, 999 fine. I am a big fan of the Eagles.
Yes, indeed.
And it looks like we're joined by another individual here, Swansea.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, Mr. Swans.
I just wanted to say, Kenny, I know exactly what you and your wife and your family are going through, as you guys know, and you were there to help and support me. This past April, I lost my grandmother, and this past August, I lost my mother. And I have a very, very small family left. And if it wasn't for all these guys, and including yourself and Josh and everybody out there that's listening, you all came, with the best words of support, the kindest things you could possibly say when you've got very few other people in the world. And I hope people realize that this goes well beyond metal detecting. This is a camaraderie across the country and in some cases across the world of people that can do something for the better good other than make it for lack of better terms, a pissing contest about who found what. It's amazing what people will do for each other, and I'm happy to do whatever I can for you guys. I'd also like to throw in there with that AT Pro. I'll send it to Josh. I have a brand new Garrett metal digger with the sheath and everything else. It's the metal ones, not the plastic ones. I think that'd be a great asset to it, and anything I can do to help anybody in your family, Kenny, you just let me know. And if you come short of your goal, PM me, and I'd be happy to help you any way I can.
I appreciate you, Swans, man. Thank you very much, buddy.
And
I appreciate you and what you guys do. Your videos are amazing. Like you said, I don't think any one of your videos is about you. I think it's pretty much about what you're saving history, you're entertaining people, you're educational. That's one of the reasons I started metal detecting.
I don't know what to say, Brandon. It means a lot to Christa and I. And Lynette, which is in the chat and listening, Christa's sister. It means a lot.
All right, well, I want you guys to update your bar when you can, because there's a little bit more in there for you guys. Anything I can do to help, again, let me know.
All right.
Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, guys.
And he's right. I mean, I don't put a lot of personal information out there, but I've even received messages from Swansea and some of the other listeners that it really is guys like us that get people into the hobby or keep them in the hobby, because we're not out there for the monetary value. We're out there to dig the history, preserve the finds, but not only that, most that know us, either through Facebook, the radio show, personal friends, acquaintances, know that we are generally kind, helping people, and we try to do what we can when we can, as sometimes it may not be much. But sometimes that little bit of time you take just to send that message or that phone call or a donation or, hey, why don't you guys do a contest? I'll donate this, whatever. It goes a long way. It speaks volumes.
It does.
It really does make a difference. And a lot of times people don't stop and realize that.
Well, I just sitting here tonight, it's, I was watching, some of the chat and looking at these guys. I'm thinking, man, what how awesome would it be just to hunt with everybody? But, other than that,
right.
I'm just, people care, about one another. And Mr. Rob here has matched you, Josh. I'm reading on the chat. He says, Josh, I will match you. I also have 1 ounce Silver Eagle setting here as well. So, Mr. Rob,
Wow.
you're a blessing. Thank you very much, buddy.
And I'll tell you what, I have talked with Rob quite a bit in the past few weeks, since we've made our meeting with each other. And Rob is just a hell of a guy. And, you know, give credit where credit is due. I don't know if they're listening or not, but I've also got to give a shout out to Mr. Keith Mullins from American Relic Recoverists.
Oh, okay. All right.
His Facebook group, it's great group of guys. Keith is a great guy. And we send messages back and forth from time to time. And Keith actually spoke to Rob and told Rob, said, hey, you've got this book coming out, you know, you should get in contact with Josh. Find Beyond Sight and Sound. Great group of guys. And
just without a doubt.
You know, we tend to find the spotlights among candles, so to speak. Because we can say that our group may not be huge. There's other groups out there with many more members than Beyond Sight and Sound. But the members we have, they do anything for you.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's a great group of people. And, you know, it's the hobby. What a great hobby, though. I mean, look at the people that's out there, you know, that's involved in this hobby and that come together with a common cause initially, and then you spend a lot of time with each other. It's like these, you know, Swansea and Ohio Relic Hunter and Suki and everybody. You chat with them so many times. You see them on Facebook. It's like you almost know these people.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you're a part of the family.
Yeah, and it's like when we did the Vicksburg hunt, and with Kevin Strahan and John and everybody down there, and digging deep south. You know, I couldn't wait, man. I was like, but you already knew them, and you just put a face to who you already knew, or put, I don't know how to say it, but when we all met down there, it was like, hey, it's different, you know, and it was special. But back to the task at hand is I can't thank everybody enough for the generosity, the thoughts, the prayers, the contributions, the time that you've taken out even tonight just to listen. It goes beyond sight and sound. It really does.
It does. It truly does. And I can tell people that, you know, it's tough for me at times to do what I do, but I continue to try. And when I see people doing things like this, it makes me want to try that much more and be that more determined to do these things. When we initially made the first post about this situation, if I remember right, within 15 minutes of making that post, there had already been a donation. I had received a private message about it from an individual, and they weren't even involved in the hobby.
No, I didn't even know. I was told my wife, I was like, there's a donation just come in. I've got to get with Josh because I need to find out who this is. And I was amazed at how quick it happened. I mean, it was just boom. You know, I mean, no time wasted.
Right. It goes to show you that there, you know, don't believe everything you read in the newspaper or you see on CNN. There are good people out there.
Yes.
And it just...
And you know what?
I'm proud to be a part of these, you know, to know these people, to call them my friends.
Exactly. Exactly. But back to Barbara for a moment.
Right.
I will, or we, Christa, will be up there. Lynette, hang in there, sweetie. And
yes, because the other thing of the situation I think we should probably point out is the fact that right now at this point, it's not a matter of whether or not you're going to get there. It's more whether you're going to get there in time.
Yeah, kids got to get out of school here and stuff. I believe in my heart that that it will all pan out and we'll be able to do this. And so, you know, we just we keep on keeping on here, and we gather what we can to make this possible through the help of friends and new friends, such as Home Finder. It's just amazing. I won't forget that all night. I'll be thinking about that. And my brother Chris, single brother, I love you. And,
well, and I can tell you, I won't mention names.
Thanks a lot. I just thank everybody. I can't just, you know, I'm trying to remember now. There's one fella, Gerald. I can't, but for the life of me, there's
from
no
Michigan.
way I cannot pronounce his last name. I don't know what it is. But if he's listening, thank you very much.
Yes, Gerald, Bill
Mr.
Marsh.
Yes, Mr. Bill as well.
Rob
Mr.
has
Ohio
even
Oregon.
offered to donate all proceeds from his book sales over the weekend.
That's just outstanding.
So if you're a hunter in the hobby, you like research, you know what? Strike that. Not even if you're a hunter. If you're interested in history, you're interested in old places, bottles, maybe you're just interested in genealogy, go check out Rob's book, because the information in that book is pertinent to any of those subjects. Whether you're interested in history, genealogy, bottle hunting, privy digging, metal detecting, even researching your own property. And $2.99, come on, it's a small price to pay.
Man, I tell you, it's and for those of you that are, they would just, from everybody I see in the chat here, they would just about have to be listeners. I don't know, but if you're trying to do this hobby without your research, you are missing out. So go try Rob's book out and look at it. I know a lot of the stuff he has in there. We talked when actually he was on the show 3 weeks ago. But once again, I sat here in awe of you guys, and Chris and I and Lynette. Thanks all of you so much. And Lynette, like I was saying, we're coming. You just hang in there, and I love you, sis, and we will we'll get through this. We'll get through this mess.
Right. It's a trying time, and we should probably point out too that if the listeners have not been familiar with the Lewy Body Dementia, you can go to the BeyondSightAndSound.com page, and there are reference links up there to explain what this is. Oftentimes, these situations are misdiagnosed as something else when it is Lewy body.
Constantly misdiagnosed.
If I remember right, statistics show that 50% are misdiagnosed, and there are actually somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.4 million.
It is exactly as what it says, 1.4 million. And don't be confused about the doctors and all the scientists saying that you have two to 7 years is exactly what it says. Now, it just because the 7's there doesn't mean you have 3.
Right.
It doesn't mean you have, none of us are promised tomorrow. But when you are indulged in this nastiness of a disease that takes your memory, it takes your sanity, basically, and the ones that's taking care of you, the ones that's also has to suffer too. It's, I want to take a moment and just, for anybody that's listening that knows anybody else with this, we pray for you guys as well. It's a horrible thing, but I'll tell you what, the only thing we can do is what we're doing. And like I said, I appreciate you guys, and what I'm going to do as a husband, and a son-in-law, a brother, is I'm going to do everything I possibly can to be there for you, to make whatever I can positive happen. That's my role right now, and that's what I'm going to do.
And for the listeners that have seen that Beyond Sight and Sound has stepped forward to try and help and do what we can, but not only on our own, with the aid and support of the other hunters, listeners, people who may not even be involved with the hobby that follow our timelines. We're all doing what we can to try to help out, just to try and do what we can to support and assist, because this is a very traumatic thing to go through, and honestly, it's unfortunate because there is no known cure, and unfortunately the medications have a side effect of causing hallucinations, but the disease itself does as well. And it makes it, it makes it that much more painful when you're a family member, especially, or if you're having to see this happen to a close loved one. You have that utter feeling of helplessness. And at this point, it's just about trying to get the family together so that they can be there and have the emotional support, the assistance, help do what we can, and just be there for one another.
Well, I tell you what, one thing I want to do tonight is I want to end this on a positive, because it's a sad situation. I don't want to leave this chat and leave this thing on a downside. I want to leave it on a positive side, and the positive side is you, the listeners, the friends that care enough to take that step to show people, that you care. You're an outstanding group of people. I knew that already. And I want this to be positive. Lynette, we will be coming. Baby, I'll have you up there with your mother. And, that's the positive side of it. Josh, man, you mean everything to me, man. I'm proud to be your co-host on this show. This show is going to go places. It's going to go far. We're going to make sure that this show, it's not one of those controversial, anything says stuff, because we hold ourselves up as a higher caliber group where everybody and anybody can listen, whether 5 years old or 100 years old, where they're new to the hobby, where they're about to retire from the hobby and just listening. Everyone's going to be welcome. Everyone will have things to learn, including you and I, when we talk to the vets, when we talk to the other hobbyists. This show means a lot to me. It brings a lot of us together, if not but for once a week. We have that to look forward to, and I appreciate everybody in here. And I appreciate you, Josh, and your family. Thank you very much, man.
Well, thank you. And for the listeners, I guess, you know, when I started out with the Beyond Sight and Sound project, there were people that said, you know, this isn't going to last, it isn't going to go anywhere, or it's going to fizzle out. Well, I'll tell you what, our past shows, we're still walking tall, standing proud. Integrity and professionalism and spreading the information. And here we are now, over a year into the making.
Josh, hang on. I'm looking at the chat here, and I'm reading down as I've been reading down the Chess Family. It's what it's all about. Family show, which was Tam, and then right under the Home Finder, and it says, "Make that $1,100." That's the chat that what I'm reading right now. And then of course there's responses to that, and my only response to that is what an individual you are, sir, and it'll come back to you double fold. We're blessed to just have this moment, and thank you very much.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That kind of takes my breath away.
It did mine too.
But
Wow.
here we are. We still stand with integrity and professionalism, spreading the content, spreading the information, and doing what we can to help ourselves, to help each other, and to help those that our life paths cross. And I may not be able to speak for everyone else, but I, for one, am definitely glad that we went through and decided to do this show tonight, even though it's outside of our standard format. I'm very fortunate and proud to have been a part of it.
All I can say is thank you. I don't have any. I just God bless you. The thing to me is I was actually skeptical for the fact that I have a problem that I guess a lot of guys like me have is called pride, and I didn't know how this was going to turn out. I didn't know what I should do, and I sat out by myself the other day. I actually went with my stepdad, and the crawfies biting a little bit, so I went down there and I was sitting down on the bank, and I was like, you know, this is not a matter of what people, you know, I am who I am, and I think my videos show that, and I think I try to carry myself in a certain way that I hope people respect. You know, I try to help people, but I didn't want to come off as just asking for something and not trying to give something back and all of that. I had to think all of this out for this show to happen. But obviously, it was the right thing to do for Barbara and for
Absolutely.
Christa. It's not about me. It's once again.
Right, at this point, it isn't about Dirt Bandit. It isn't about Kenny Moore. It isn't about Beyond Sight and Sound or Josh Kimmel or Christa. It's about family. It's about doing what's right. It's about being there for one another.
Well, and it's about givers of life. It's about givers of people that want to help, that can help, or in a position to help. And I'll say it 1,000 times that I appreciate you. My wife, she's not talking very much simply because I don't think she can at the moment.
This is kind of emotional.
And, but you guys we just thank you so much. I can't say it enough. And, you guys know me, there'll be a video when we're done with all of this. There'll be a huge video on this.
Absolutely. And I'll have one up too.
And I just, man, this is unbelievable. I know one thing. Somebody told me not long ago that when the Jolie thing was going on, I had somebody, and they're not in here, this was somewhere else, I was going, you're going to give up a plate? Why would you do that? And my first thought was, why ask why, for one? And then my second thought was, because it's the right thing to do. I mean, and it wasn't my plate. I found that plate. That guy may have gave his life for that plate laid, and I guarantee you right now, if he was standing here, he would have given it to her.
It's not the plate, it's the cause.
Right.
And
well, I'm speechless to the point where I think I've just talked so much now that I don't know. I'm ecstatic, and I just this has been good. It's good for Barbara. It's good for Lynette, and it's good for Christa, and that makes me pleased. It makes me very happy. It makes me blessed.
And I'll tell you, listeners, usually I tell people I can run my trap all day long for free. I don't get paid for this stuff. And I'm speechless. I'm just, the amount of giving, I'm humbled, I'm proud, and I've fell on rough times before, and I try to trudge through. I hate to ask people for things, and I try to do what I can, and I try to help others. And when I saw this situation going on, I thought, I may not be able to do much, but there's something that I can do. And even if I can only do a little bit, if I can get others to help do a little bit, every little bit adds up. Every little bit helps. And I'm just, I
know. Home Finder, I see your request. Please send me a link to the video at swonder@bright.net, and you will, matter of fact, you'll be the first. When I make the video after this is said, and I'll probably make a video while we're up there with Barbara and stuff like that. We will post that as well, and you will get it, sir. I can guarantee you that.
Also, for the listeners, we have ran on quite longer than we had planned to, but we had some unexpected surprises. Honestly, folks, check out Rob's book, Metal Detecting Hidden Places, Amazon.com, Google Play Store. Check out his website, detectinghiddenplaces.com. Check out the Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group. Check out BeyondSightandSound.com domain. Check out Kenny Moore on YouTube. Check out Ohio Metal Detecting on YouTube. And hey, while you're at it, it may sound a little weird, but since we've had quite a bit of talk about realty tonight, check out Sell Your Home Faster.
Yes.
On Facebook.
Please.
And drop in there and give them a like too. He's a good friend of mine, great guy, and I'm telling you what, at least in my area, you want a home, you contact him. And there are a lot of people that follow my Facebook timeline, a lot of people that follow my group that, they know the area I'm in. It's not hard to find the guy. Check him out. But for everyone else, we should probably get out of here because I am just, I honestly, I'm so taken back. It's all I can say is I'm proud and fortunate to know the people that I know.
Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Josh.
Hobby.
Let me tell you something right now. When you get off of here, go look at your meter, because the meter is maxed out, brother. So the meter's maxed out. The mission's accomplished. We reached our goal. And thank you, everybody, for that.
Missouri.
Thank you very much. From my wife, from Lynette, God bless all of you. And I know we got to scoot off here. We're eating up somebody else's airtime. And
Lynette,
Mr. Home Finder,
they're on the way.
You will get the videos. And so just thanks, Josh, man. Thanks, brother, for the show.
For all the listeners, thanks for tuning in. For everybody online now with me on the broadcast, hang in there. We're going to roll out. I think we've got a few things to discuss. For everyone else, if you enjoyed the show, like, leave a comment, rate, drop us a line, anything. The support has been completely beyond overwhelming at this point. Thank you. We've got to roll.
God bless you.
God bless you guys.